Trace Trelko's Sons of UCF. Knights head coach Gus Malzahn expects Boise State to play like their backs are against the wall. The Broncos are coming off the loss at Washington. This is their home opener on their famous blue field. At least once this week, the Knights are going to practice on a local blue field. We spoke with offensive lineman Tylan, Grable, and safety Quadric, Bullard, as well as head coach Gus Malzahn, who preview the Broncos and talk a little bit more about that blue field. Following Thursday's game, you talked about the need to have a conversation with John Rice Plumlee about not putting his body in as much harm. How did that conversation go? And at this point in his career, how do you change his instinct to try and make a play?
Well, I mean, it's just part of growing. It's what that is. And being wise, he's going to have a chance to play at the next level. You know, like I said, Cam Newton's the only guy that I've ever seen that can run over everybody and not get hurt. You know, but he's not that way. So he's going to have to get what he can get and get out of bounds or slide. I mean, there's a time, you know, for the game, that's a different story. But he's just going to have to grow. And we talked about it. I'm confident he will.
Boise's coming off the loss. They have their home debut. Coach Malzahn just said that their back is against the wall. What does that mean to you when you look ahead to facing them?
I feel like we're going to get their best shot. They did lose this past week, but I feel like they're going to be ready to come out and play in front of their home crowd. They're going to be ready to get back home and feel like the game is going to be electric for them. Like they're going to be ready to play, so we have to match their energy.
I would say what stood out to me mostly was what they do to mostly every team. They did last year as well. They line up in they line up in formations that you think they would start in, and then they end up shifting a bunch of guys and everything like that. They do it mostly to confuse people. And I mean, us as a DB group, we've already started diving into it. We're like, hey, communication is going to be key this game because we have dudes in the back end who must know all three positions. Because you have to rotate this, you have to bump this, and things like that. So you have to know if you end up in this position, you got to do this. If you end up in this position, you got to do this. So communication, this game, we've learned is going to be a key role in coming to defeat Boise.
I mean, from a coach's standpoint, you do your best to have routine as best you can. Obviously, when you got a 5+ hour flight, that's not your normal deal. But it's early in the season. You know, we'll get there a little bit early and play on that blue field. You know, which will be a little different. We're going to try to practice here locally on a blue field one time before we leave. And we'll see if that will help. But, you know, it is what it is. It's a long road game. It just happens to be, you know, one of the toughest places to play in all of college football. And but we're looking forward to it. It'll be a good test to see where we're at.
I'll be better than me being second-year player here and being a vet. I feel like I have to step my game up and also help lead the way, and that will make our O-line play.
When we got into college, I was hoping to play on somebody's field that had blue or any color. I was just hoping to play on the colored field. And I mean, like Coach said, I mean, we're gonna go probably practice on a blue turf field. I mean, it'll be a first time for me, and you know, it'll help us get adjusted to it going into, because I've seen a couple videos on YouTube or anything like that where teams actually hide their players in the end zones of blue fields and things like that. And it's like, we have to be prepared for this because you never know, Boise might pull it out. They just came off of a loss, so all tricks are up right now. So it'll help us a lot going to practice on one to actually get reps on the blue field.
More coverage all week from the Sons of UCF. I'll be traveling to Boise. Follow me on Twitter @SignPez. I'll have notes during the game and then the post-game sound bites from players and coaches. For the Sons of UCF, I'm Trace Trelko.